For the third consecutive year, Dave Campbell's Texas Football and Whataburger are proud to honor the best and the brightest stars in Texas high school football through the Whataburger Super Team. For the 2020 season, Texas high school football fans across the state nominated more than 5,000 players, resulting in more than 300,000 ballots on texasfootball.com. And out of all of those, 40 outstanding athletes rose to the top to be named with this unique honor. And joining us today, we have the head coach of the Texas High Tigers, Coach Gerry Stanford, our Whataburger Super Team winner, Mr. Clayton Smith, and our Whataburger representative, Mr. Jeff Altman. Thank you guys so much for being here today and celebrating Clayton and all of his awesome accomplishments. And without further ado, Clayton, we're going to go ahead and begin this presentation with you. First question I got for you is, what was really the feeling like when you heard your name announced as one of the award recipients?
Well, I mean, when I hear my name for any award, it's kind of flattering, but the fact that it was Whataburger, you know what I'm saying, somewhere that I can eat 3 out of 5 times a week. So, you know what I'm saying, it's an honor to have that type of recognition by a company as big as Whataburger, and for them to just, you know what I'm saying, have a spotlight on what I've been doing down here in the little Texarkana for it to take a stage that big.
And what does it really mean to you to be named as a 2020 Whataburger Super Team player?
It means a lot to be a top 40 player in the country and be voted upon, in the state, and to be voted upon by the state. That's amazing. So.
And Coach Stanford, we're going to throw it over to you. How special was it for you to see Clayton, claim a spot on the Whataburger Super Team?
No, I think probably one of the most prestigious teams in Texas is to be on the Dave Campbell's Whataburger team. I mean, Dave Campbell's is the Bible of Texas football. We were talking about this yesterday, that when this comes out, it's like Christmas amongst Texas, because that means football season's around the corner. And so to be on this team, that's the most exalted team right now in the state of Texas. And for our program, and what that means is have the opportunity to have a kid on there is just it's the ultimate award.
Absolutely. There's 2 Christmases in Texas, Christmas and Texas high school football season, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. And kind of going off of that, what kind of an impact does Clayton, receiving this award have on your entire Tigers program as a whole?
I think the biggest thing, for the little kids coming up, it's somebody to look up to. For our 7th and 8th graders, it's a giant amongst a bunch of little kids. They look to him as already an NFL player type mindset. And so just that you can achieve your goals. You can achieve your dreams. Obviously, this is a dream now for a lot of kids in Texarkana to see that Clayton's done it, that it's a dream for them to be able to do it someday.
Mr. Altman, we're going to throw it over to you. What does it mean for, Whataburger to be able to show their support to local Texas high school football teams?
Well, it means a lot to us. We partnered with Dave Campbell's Texas Football 2 years ago to find just what we thought was a great platform to be able to honor players across the state, because we're across the state. We're in 10 states, but Texas is our home market. And so, I don't think you can find 2 greater traditions across the state than, Texas high school football and Whataburger.
And how much of a success has the Super Team partnership with Dave Campbell's Texas Football actually been?
It's been great. So we're very much and always have been about investing back in our communities and supporting those schools that support Whataburger. So, this gives us an avenue to be able to kind of stretch across the state and work with these different schools and communities and honor the best of the best.
And really overall, what does Whataburger hope to accomplish by presenting hardworking athletes like Clayton this award?
Well, they've already done so much. I think we just add a little bit to what they're already doing, on the field, giving them the recognition that they deserve with their team and their coaches and what they represent to their communities. And then also, it's great to hear the stories of, Clayton moving on to further his career and his education in Oklahoma. So that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. And you kind of just set up this next question for me. Mr. Smith, you've got some big plans next year. You're playing football for the University of Oklahoma. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, there is a Whataburger in Norman. So is that going to be a destination for you for post-game meals after Saturday home games?
It's already a destination for me just after practice. So, I mean, yeah, I plan on going after these games a lot, pretty frequently.
Absolutely. And really, what does it mean to you to have, Whataburger as a sponsor of local Texas high school football teams?
It's a great feeling to know that one of my favorite restaurants is also sponsoring me in football. So,
Absolutely. It's a good feeling. I always went there after high school football games on Friday nights. It's a great destination. And Coach Stanford, we're going to throw it over to you. You've previously coached all around the DFW Metroplex, where Dave Campbell's Texas football is, and now you've spent a couple of years in East Texas. So what makes East Texas football, so special?
I think it's got a unique personality to it that's different than anywhere else in the state. Obviously, partner with Whataburger, they're orange. We're the same orange. That always helps. We obviously love that and have two Whataburgers here in Texarkana that we use quite a bit for our players and for post games and for all of our sports as we travel around the country. But I think the unique personality in East Texas, it's still got some trueness to it of what Texas high school football means. From where it started, it's got some real deep roots to the original reason kids played. I think in East Texas, kids still play for the right reasons. They play for the love of the game. They play for the love of their community. There's a ton of small community atmosphere that still takes a ton of pride in being at this school or any other school in East Texas. The pride, just like Whataburger has its company name, those towns still have in their town name. I mean, Texarkana is a very prideful town. And when you come to Tiger Stadium on a Friday night and it's decked out in orange, every home game is sold out. It's like your normal Friday night life, so what everybody wants to see it as. And so it's a unique experience in East Texas.
And kind of speaking, about your guys, you guys were successful last year, going 11-1 on the season, and of course, being undefeated in district play. So what can we really expect to see from your Tigers this coming season, Coach?
I think the groundwork was set really about 3 years ago. We laid the groundwork for where we wanted to be. And we did some things that people didn't think that we could do and accomplished a lot of it due to what Clayton was able to be a big part of and be a leader for. And so we've got a good group coming back this next year. We've got 6 back on offense and 6 back on defense. Obviously, the number 4 linebacker in the country doesn't hurt to have that played opposite of Clayton. That'll lead our defense, where we were the number 1 defense in our district last year. And so we hope to be the same. And offensively, we've got our quarterback back as one of the top quarterbacks in the state. And so we look to pick up where we left off this last year and just keep moving forward.
And of course, we can't go through a whole Whataburger presentation without talking about our go-to Whataburger orders. So Clayton, I'm going to start with you. What is your go-to after game? You absolutely have to have it. Whataburger order.
Honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich, large lemonade, large fries, no ice and lemonade with a cinnamon roll. If it was a tough game, I'll get a honey butter chicken biscuit on the side too.
Oh, that sounds so good. I love their honey butter chicken biscuits. And Coach Stanford, how about you? What are you getting after a game on Friday nights?
Actually, we had our state golf tournament down in Austin this last weekend. I flew in on a really late flight and pulled into Whataburger there in Georgetown right off 35 at midnight. I got a number 1 with cheese, with jalapenos, French fries, and a sweet tea with some spicy ketchup.
You have to have the spicy ketchup. Regular ketchup's good, but spicy ketchup, it's elite, right? And
there was a line around us. The line was wrapped around the store at midnight in Georgetown.
I can believe it. And it's basically the only thing that's open everywhere at midnight, So, of course, the lines. It's amazing. And we got to ask our Whataburger super team representative, Mr. Altman, what is your go-to order?
I don't think I could eat as much food as Clayton eats in one meal in a week. That's an impressive order, Clayton, believe me. But I'm solid on the number 1. I like to have that with cheese, and a big thing I like to do is tell them to toast the buns on both sides, so it's crispy on both sides, and a Diet Dr. Pepper fries, and then I'll get 1 spicy ketchup, I'll get 1 fancy ketchup, and sometimes I'll get some onion rings to go with that.
That does sound good. And it is lunchtime right now, so I may just run over to Whataburger real quick on my lunch break and grab me some of that, because that sounds real good. Well, Clayton, we're going to leave this last question up to you. Do you have any final remarks or words that you would like to say to Whataburger super team?
I just want to thank the whole team and staff for even partnering with Dave Campbells in the first place, and then also representing us as just athletes. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of representation for us nowadays. And for them to partner up with Dave Campbell's, that's amazing. it's a lot of recognition that our players down here are getting that they would normally get due to Dave Campbell's and Whataburger. So I just appreciate them for looking into it.
Well, Clayton, on behalf of Whataburger and Dave Campbell's Texas Football, congratulations again for being named to our 2020 Whataburger Super Team. We wish you the best of luck next season at OU. And Coach Stanford, we appreciate the time that you carved out to help celebrate Clayton in this awesome accomplishment. And of course, Mr. Altman, thank you to you and your team at Whataburger for the support of the 2020 Whataburger Super Team.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.